This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Nako Mbelle. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm excellent. It's a great pleasure to connect with you, Nako. Please say your last name the way you were saying it before I said it.
Mbelle.
Oh, that sounds so much better. Bella. Did I get it?
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
perfect.
All right, wonderful. Well, tell us, what part of the world are you in right now?
I'm in Toronto, Canada, where it's cold.
I've heard. So I spoke to someone yesterday. They said it's minus 15 degrees yesterday. What does it look like today?
Yeah, today is not so bad. It's -1. So it went, it got a little warmer. And it's normally colder at this time of year, but I think what's upsetting people is that it's all over the place. It's unpredictable. So yeah. It's annoying.
Well, I'm glad that it went up and not down. And I'm glad you're warmer today. Do tell me, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
Yeah, so I am a FinTech recruiter, a financial technology recruiter, and I specialize in crypto and blockchain placements. And I got into the space quite accidentally. In fact, a client had just asked me if I would accept Bitcoin, and this was 2016. And at the time when it wasn't there wasn't insanity. It was actually $800 at the time. And being the business person that I am, I said, well, can I convert it? As long as I can convert it and it's money, I'll accept it. And he said, yeah, you can. So I did accept it. And unfortunately, I should have hung on to it, but I didn't. I converted the currency. But I started getting more clients that were in the space, and it prompted me to learn more about it because I was recruiting developers for these companies. So it was great because I, had firsthand contact with the people who were actually building the ecosystem.
That's super
wallets.
cool.
Yeah. So, but the learning curve was so steep, and I was so intimidated because I'm not technical. And it took a while for me to understand the value of Bitcoin and crypto. And I, read as much as I could and watched a lot of YouTube videos and asked a lot of questions and was able to really fully understand it and decided, you know what, I'm not only am I going to accept this, but I'm actually going to keep some. I'm not going to convert it all to dollars or fiat, as they called it in the crypto world. So that was my journey down the rabbit hole, as we say, in the space, because it really is a super deep rabbit hole. And every day I learn more and more, and I get more and more excited, despite the fact that we're in a very painful bear market that we've been in for a year, where the price was $20,000 US and had dropped to like 3,000 pretty much.
Yes.
So it's been painful, but because I understand the fundamentals, I still believe in it, and I'm very bullish on the overall trajectory of where the space is headed.
That's super cool. I love the way you communicated your strengths, and that you learned something that was totally new, something that could have said to you, you know what, it's bigger than you, and you're not doing it. Who did you learn that skill from, that ability to look the bull in the eye, if you would, and still go forward confidently, if you would?
Yeah, I think it's coupled with curiosity and stubbornness. And I say, I always tell people the one main trait I notice with everybody in crypto and Bitcoin is that we're curious. You have to be curious that's the most important thing. And if you're curious, you'll you'll start digging. You'll dig for more knowledge. If you have an intellectual curiosity, because it is a very intellectually demanding topic, because it combines technology, economics, psychology, game theory. There's a lot of different moving parts. And if you're the kind of person that you like knowledge and you like to learn, I think it'll just, it's something that will come naturally. So I just think it's just a character trait, really.
Now, if there's someone that's looking to learn more, where can they connect with you?
They can connect with me on my website, which is www.fintechrecruiters. And FinTech is F as in Frank, I as in India, N as in Nancy, Tech, Tech. Recruiters is plural. It's all one word, .com. I'm also on Twitter, and they can, connect with me there at Nako, Nako, Mbelle. And that's, my handle. And I'm trying to be a little bit more active on Twitter, because that's where actually I learned a lot about Bitcoin, believe it or not, because the crypto space is very active on Twitter. So there's a lot of people who just post their opinions and articles, and so it's a great learning tool.
Well, do tell me, Nako, one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
Well, I do run FinTech Recruiters. I'm a founder, and I work with 2 other recruiters that are on my team. So I've been very lucky to, have had that running for 4 years now. That's really been, it's a love, because I do love helping people find careers that they enjoy. And that's what I've been doing, for the past 4 years, pretty much consistently.
How does that make you feel, knowing that you've done that consistently?
I do feel a sense of pride, but I also think that the whole entrepreneurial, there's this sort of, I don't know if it's a misconception that it's glamorous, and I don't think there's no glamour in it at all. It is hard, and just you're only as good as your last sale, so to speak, right? So you're only as good as your last at bat. It's one of those things, like, you don't really make it. There's no making it really, unless I sell it for a profit to a bigger company. But I think there's this misconception with people who don't have their own businesses that somehow there's like a finish line and you cross it and you're like, yay, I made it. And it's just doesn't work. It's not like that at all.
I guess the grass always looks greener on the other side, doesn't it?
Exactly. And it's not. I'm here to tell you. It's dry and you need to water it every day.
Love it. Again, amazing audience. You're hearing it live from Nako. I'm still going to take a go at your name again. Mbelle.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yep, you did it.
I'm getting it. Well, Nako, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Nako, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh, wow. Funny enough, I know I'm half African and my mother is from Tobago. So we're connected.
Wow.
Yes. And
we're
I actually live. Yes. I know Trinidad very well. I have family on both islands, but my mom is a Tobagonian. And my earliest childhood memory is actually being in my underwear at 2 years old, running around the house, my grandmother's house in Tobago. So that's my earliest childhood memory.
That's intriguing. Why do you think that memory is so clear?
I think because there was such a sense of freedom, which is something I think is really important to me, and why I, getting back to cryptocurrency, why I love Bitcoin so much, because I think it really is about freedom. And so is entrepreneurship. Like, I'm one of those people, like, I'd rather, eat ramen noodles than go to an office and struggle and work independently. Like, so for me, freedom is more important than security. And so, yeah, I think that sense of being free as a kid and and literally being half naked and not caring, right?
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I love the picture of what is created as well, though, in the safety or the boundaries. And I think that's one thing that really wraps up people with the Bitcoin industry, the blockchain, is that they do not have their boundary lines to begin with. And then that can cause challenges, can't it? But seeing that you had those boundaries of your grandparents putting what is necessary in place, your security, pun intended, for you to be free, I love that picture.
Oh, thank you.
If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Oh, wow. I loved Michael Jackson. I'm really going to age myself, okay? Because that's how old I am. But yeah, I mean, I just loved Michael Jackson. Maybe I was a little younger, but no. I think I was 12 is grade 6, right? So in grade 6, I was listening to Madonna.
All right.
So it was a little later. So I loved there's this song that wasn't a big hit, but I loved this Madonna song called Lucky Star. Man, I love that song. So that was what I was listening to when I was 12. I was listening to Lucky Star by Madonna.
I
And
love
if
it.
you can date me now.
And there you go. Yeah, you can date you now. That's super fun. Well, Nako, hey, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
Yes.
Nako, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
No.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than? I'm hearing you shouting at me right now. Is it is it less than 8 hours a day or more than 8 hours a day?
I'm embarrassed to say it's more than 8 hours a day.
All right. Well, Nako, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Nako Mbelle, Belle. What would you say that is?
So say that again. The real estate. I say that.
Sure, I could start over. Your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are.
I would say that just do it. I know it's corny, right? It's really corny. It's Nike after all. But I think what that statement, and this is not original, by the way, it's someone else made this statement before me, but I love it so much that I've taken it as my own now. But she pretty much says, like, most of the time you don't feel like doing it. Seriously, nobody does, right? You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to, make the last phone call to the client that, is probably not pleasant. There are many things we don't feel like doing, but just do it anyway. So, yeah, I love that. That's my personal statement. Just do it, Nako.
I love it. Well, Nako, again, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yeah, I would like to say that something else I stole from somebody else. They said, if you're not terrified of what you're doing, like if you don't feel uneasy, okay, because there's this misconception that the stars are going to align and you're going to magically feel secure and confident in what you're going to be doing, whatever that is. And, the truth is, everybody has a pit in their stomach that's like, oh my God, what am I doing? What if I fail? When you have that, it means that the stakes are really, really high. And when the stakes are high, everything that's worth doing in life, I believe, have pretty high stakes, whether it's getting married, having kids. The important things in life is a high stakes thing. And you're going to be scared. And you know what? Do it anyway.
Just do it. Nako, thank you, my friend, for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazell Enterprise.